We're on the wharf here at Eden, and my food recommendation for this trip is the same as when I was last here. It's fish and chips, but this time they've improved it a bit. They got a bit of salad in there. A bit of tomato, a bit of onion, a bit of lettuce. There you go. So we'll have that. We got our oak iced coffee, milk. Well, what did you think of the whale watching trip? It was good, wasn't it? I didn't think the whales would come up all that close, but they certainly did. They certainly did, as you saw. There's a couple of seagulls out there waiting for these. I might feed them later on. Excuse me if I sound a bit groggy, because I'm all dosed up with anti-seasickness drugs, alright? I took everything I could think of to stop me from getting seasick. Went out and the captain said, you won't get seasick today, she's like a mill pond, and he said that's the calmest he's had it for a while. He said, oh, it won't be so calm tomorrow. Anyway, we enjoyed that. We saw our whales. So there you are. Food recommendation. Fish and chips on the wharf at Eden. There you go. He didn't get to hear the commentary he had on the boat. He got a little PA system on the boat and he tells you what's going on. He says Eden's one of the only areas that they actually feed while they're up here. And just so happened today we saw them feeding. And he said, think yourselves lucky, because sometimes you go out there and I don't see much at all. We had a good trip today. Yeah, we're going from here, after I finish our fish and chips, going up and have a look at that other geek at the Killer Whale Museum. May not film that because I filmed that before, last time I was here. Remember, last time I was here, Rex? Having fish and chips on the wharf with the seagulls. And then we're going to go have another look at Green Cape Light. I know I've been there before, but that's a bloody good trip out there to have a look at that light. A nice lighthouse, that one. And then we're going to camp tonight at Batangabie Bay. I'm going to see if we can find those ruins, Murray. See if we can find those ruins at Batangabie Bay. So that's what's on the agenda for today. And we'll see you in a minute. We're walking along the walking trail out of Batangabie Bay campground. We put the Dowdy in for the night, and we're going to see if we can find these ruins, Murray. They say it's down the walking track, just after the creek at the head of Batangabie Bay. It's not signposted at all, Murray. I don't think they're certainly known about. They got a little platform here to stand on, Murray. Yes, everyone says this is the old whaling station lookout. But this is a bone of contention in the book North of Capricorn. Not signposted, Murray. You have to You have to look around for it, mate. Yeah, stone house set amongst the bark huts, fruit trees, garden. You see 1844 description of Imlay settlement at Bendigo Bay, Bendigo Bay. Yes, I think this is what they're on about in the book, Murray. You got the modern building here. You got foundation, damp course. The wall starting here with mortar in them, and then you've got all this rubble here. That is actually that built out of that. But you see, there's no stone anywhere within curried here, and yet they've got all these piles of rocks here in the semicircle. You see it there, Maury? Up to the tree. All around here you've got these stones laying around. And then you've got the new building built in there. So if you're collecting rubble for a building, you wouldn't put your rubble so close to the walls here. See this? And you wouldn't have it in a circle. You've got to put a straight line there, put a bit of a circle here. And it continues on here. Up to here. And you see there's sod all further on down. So it looks as if these were put here. That's what they're saying in the book. These rocks were put here long before someone decided to build another building out of the rocks. So they just cleared enough for the building and built the new building out of the rocks that were already here. The bone of contention in the book that these were part of a fortification built in the 16th century. And the rocks were used for a new building built around the 19th century. Late 19th, early 20th century for here. So that's the bone of contention, that this building here was actually built from the remains of a building that was here, a Portuguese, a building built by the Portuguese in the 16th century. So there we go. You never know your luck in a big city, do you? This is the Bendigo Bay here. The ruin is just up there, right on top of the hill. I just noticed there's another ruin over there. There's the old, what they call the old whaling station. There. Might go and have a look at that, eh? Beautiful little sandy beach here. The emphasis being on the word little, it's not that big. Only goes from here to there. Yeah, rubber-dubber-dub, 2 men in a tub. Said he's having trouble with his outboard. You've got a few reefs out there. You have to go along out there and then out that way. And there's a deep harbour in here, but this is the only beach area. It's just here. And she's not a bad beach, is it, Jack? Not a bad beach, I was going to say. That's nice, isn't it, Rex? Yeah, this was the old storehouse for the old materials, the stores for the lighthouse at Bendigo Bay, and they had a tramway system pulled by horses up to the lighthouse. They used to bring it in here because it was nice sheltered waters. Whereas if you have a look by the bloody lighthouse, it's It's fairly rugged. It's on a little point of land next to a place called Disaster Bay. Many ships come to grief there. So they decided to put the stores to the lighthouse, offload them here. Considering we're quite close to Eden, this is a bloody magic camping spot. Bloody magic. See all my little friends up there? They reckon it's magic too. Listen to the birdies. You can hear the surf running too, can't you? Beautiful. Magic. We got tea going, Rex. Got an apology for Rex. How you going, Rex? Things going alright? I don't even think you'll like this tea, mate. It doesn't look all that good. We got Heinz Thai green curry. Put in a few Edgell corn kernels. And a couple of Barry Clark's smoked oysters in barbecue sauce. We stuck a few of them in too. And we've got to keep ourselves tidy, don't we? Put ourselves away. Oh, that's going to come up a treat, isn't it, Rex? It looks good. It smells good. By God, I hope it tastes good. It's not bad. We've got a burner going. Ooh, she's got a bit of afterbite. I don't think it'll need any Mackenzie's Sun, Moon and Stars curry powder. I don't think it'll need any of that, Rex. Ooh, it's got a bit of burn in it too. Ooh, that's going to come up a treat. I don't know about those oysters though. I reckon they're still trying to swim. Yes. Well, what'd you think of the whale watching drive? Good, wasn't it? Yes. I'll show you. Old Dave Wooden. Oh, how you going, Dave? You doing all right, mate? Old Dave Wooden. I sent him a text last night. What did it say? Eden, going whale watching tomorrow. I was expecting a message back. Hope it blows like a bastard. Well, yesterday I was worried out of me. Blackmore's Travel Calm Ginger relieves nausea. And I ate just about the whole packet yesterday. And I ate a few more this morning. I was munching on when I was out there. I was alright. And then... oh dear. I was going along quite well. He's on the little PA in the boat. Oh, welcome to Cat Ballou, whale watching out of Eden. And then he goes that, he said, it'll be calm ride today, but if any of you start feeling a little queasy, and he said, oh, you do this and you do that, he said, you just lean over the back of the boat and tell people you're looking for deep whales. And I started to go, ooh, and he started to, go out of the boat. And, ooh. Anyway, when the whale showed up, we were too busy watching the whales and going, oh, gee, look at that one, and look at that one over there. And is that a woodpecker I hear? Anyway, hope you liked the adventure anyway. And hear the birdies? That's good, isn't it? And also, do you hear that? We had a fly go past. We don't want that. He said you picked the best day. I said, yeah, thank you very much. I'm only here for one day. And he said it could blow a bit tomorrow and could have a bit of rain tomorrow. So, yeah, he said it was a good day. A lot of people go out disappointed because they don't see the whales, but we certainly saw the whales, didn't we? Anyway, I'm going to have that tea, which is still bubbling. See that? Ooh, she's getting a bit warm, Rex. Ooh. The wind's light to As Ed says, it'll be winds bloody light the variable tonight, won't there, mate? Good morning. We're on a little walk here down to the rocks near Green Cape Light. We're just going to have a look down there, eh? Might have been better in the afternoon sun than the early morning sun. This is called the Rock City. Probably because of those vertical walls over there. This is it's Cape Green Light just up there behind the rocks. This bay here has seen many ships. Seen many ships on the rocks here. In the early sailing days, it was a lee shore, and it sort of enticed them into this area here, and you got this cape jutting out. Very dangerous. Also very cold here this morning, which, along with the walk back, makes for a very good heart starter for the morning, eh? I'm standing at the very tip of Green Cape. That's where a fishing boat came to grief quite recently. And very dangerous waters, because you come up the coast here and it leads you into this bay here, which is called Disaster Bay. Here's the light. There's the very prim and proper modern light. That's the one. Now you've got the navigation light on top there. There's Green Cape Light. There's the keeper's quarters there and there. That's the generator room there, which at the moment is running. They must be a bit low on power. It's quite a beautiful location here. Quite a beautiful location. You remember when we went on that whale watching tour? We actually saw Cape Green Cape Light. We were actually out here somewhere on the tour, looking at the whales. And there's a little rock there. That's a little island up there. And Batangaby Bay is just in there. We saw the stores shed for the lighthouse. That's where the lighthouse used to pick up their stores. Quite rugged coast here, Jack. You like that, don't you, mate? Have a look at that, mate. Your little boat would come to grief in here, wouldn't it, Digger? Yeah. Quite a beautiful view out to sea as well, Jack. Have a look at that, mate. That's lovely. You don't feel how bloody cold it is here, mate. Nice calm morning this morning. He said the whale watching tour, he said tomorrow might be a little bit rough. That's not bad, is it, Jack? Can you imagine being in a bloody fishing trawler coming home and getting caught on that? Wouldn't be too good, would it, mate? Anyway, we shall continue on. And where are we going today? Lake's Entrance eventually. We hope to get to somewhere near Lake Entrance. And actually, I'm going to try and get on a tour of the lighthouse. And I thought, haven't got much time, but if I race I might make it. Well, I didn't worry about it. Well, I see on the sign down there that haven't got tours on Sunday anyway. We'll catch you further on down. Yes, we're on our way to Lake's Entrance. We're getting up somewhere up there tonight. Emily, if you're still watching, this is where your border horse come from. There's the little table down there, and welcome to Victoria. So the little border horse was found just over there. I don't know how that ended up there. Here we go. We've got a thing here, Cairn River. We might go for that river walk. 198 kilometres to Lake's Entrance. We might not make Lake's Entrance. Here we go. No horse float. Do not take fruit into Victoria. Here we go. No entry horse floats. There's the little man from Aquas, checking on whether we got any horses going in. Well, I've had a look at the back, and I don't think there's any horse. Pity it wasn't last time, Emily. We wouldn't have been able to bring your horse in, would we, eh? Your horse would have had to stay in New South Wales. Well, we don't know where we don't know where he come from. He's probably in Victoria. I don't know. But we probably would have been able to. We probably would have been stopped by the horse flu. You might not have got your horse. Beautiful day. Gradually been getting rainier and rainier as the day progresses. Is that the way you say it? Past the river walk back there, the Canberra river walk, and it was a bit rainy. Beautiful big forest here. Big forest, is that how you say it? Anyway, we're still on our way to Lake's Entrance. We gave the little man at Lake's Entrance a phone call, and he said hello. And we're going on a little boat ride tomorrow out of Lake's Entrance. I'm taking me seasickness tablets now. I won't get out the car for you, Jack. This is Cape Conran. It is extremely windy out there. It's raining, and by God, it's rough. Have a look at this, Jack. Caution. Boat ramp jetty may be slippery. There's the boat ramp there. You can drive down there and down there. This is a little point. If you have a look on the map, Cape Conran, it's a fairly exposed bit of coastline here, and I can feel the car vibrating around in the wind, and it's raining, but it's a good seascape. I thought you might like to look at that, Jack. Your little boat wouldn't go too good out there, mate, would it, eh? We're at a place called Marlow in Victoria, and in Marlow they got a river here, it comes down around here, and that's the Snowy River, the outlet of the Snowy River, and that's where the Snowy River meets the sea. Down there. Fairly rough day here today, a bit rainy out there. Wouldn't like to be whale watching out there, would we, Rex? Ooh, no. There we go. Very pretty spot, very pretty. Marlow, Victoria. Where the Snowy River meets the sea. This is the little walkway boat ramp area of Marlow, and we're going to have a drive around the coast road there. If you have a look on your GPS data, Kev, you'll find them driving on the water. Not bad little spots for shacks along here. This is right on the water's edge. At Marlow, have a look in there. 156,000, Jim. Give me one, we'll do a click. Bad little shacks for Jack here. Look at this, look at this, look at this. See, we're right on the water. They're banking onto the forest there. They're built up. Not bad, eh? Not bloody bad at all. Just out of Lake's entrance is a little place called the Log Crossing Picnic Ground. Out of the Log Crossing Picnic Ground, they've got a little walking trail. And it's called the Log Crossing Picnic Ground because all along the bloody road, all along the trail here, there's bloody logs laying across. I've gone around 3 already, and here's another one coming up. Have a listen, we've got a rifle bird somewhere near here. Hear that? Isn't that beautiful? You got old fallen tree stumps here. Apparently what I'm walking along is an old quarry tramway route that's been abandoned, and they've taken away the rail and the sleepers and made it into a walking or push bike trail. Everything's wet, of course, because we've had rain this morning, but you can smell the rotting timber here, or the rotting vegetation. Look, a few mozzies here too. Don't want them, do we? Yeah, might camp in one of the caravan parks near caravan parks near Lake entrance. Morning, Jack. I thought I might video a couple of waves coming in for you, mate. You like looking at waves and seascapes, don't you, mate? This is the beach next to where I was camped last night. I was listening to that sound all night, Jack. And it wasn't bad. I slept well. Out to the outer bar at Lake's entrance, there's no car access. It's only a footbridge. But it's not a bad view from out here. I don't know about the name of the shop, Skunkware. There's the Dowdy, getting broken into by some youths of Lake's entrance. There's the boating area, Jack. Life of the rich and famous out there, I think.
Moving machinery and the large cranes you can see are all part of the new sand transfer system for the dredging operations that's being constructed there. There's also a little baby right up on the top there. really excited about these first seals that are accumulating here. They've never actually stayed on the western wall before. Well, after we're just starting polling. Now, most of these seals would have come in from out at the oil rigs. Quite crowded out there for Australian fur seals and Australian sea lion. Over there in the shallow waters, well away from the channel. They're fully aware of the boats that are getting around. Dolphins, being very intelligent animals, do get bored at times and do come to get interaction with the vessels, but if it's lefty and shark eels, I suspected, I'll probably just come around on the shallows there. Now, hopefully won't be the first and last of the dolphins today, but there is another group further up the lake system here. A beautiful white-bellied seagull just flew over there. Now I suspect he could be the one from the nest that we've got a little further ahead here if I can pick it out.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. No, I'll be right.
You're right.
On the rock drawings here, very unusual area. And just bear in mind that all these rocks and other things or bits of material that they've constructed these drawings with have been brought in from other areas, but certainly not down on the beach. Just make our way across Bancroft Bay once again, heading over towards Chinaman's Creek. That area off to our immediate left there is known as Mosquito Point and is mainland. We'll be passing by there very closely on our return trip today. Hotel here, a very popular watering hole with locals and visitors to the area. They also serve kennel lunches and dinners there, frequented by not only people that drive to Meantime, but people that visit by boat. Also the little town courtyard, surrounded by little cafes and restaurants and shops. Sometimes they have little markets there. This large accommodation area here, consisting of the slipway and the moorings, is all built over the old site of the old Bulls Industries slipway. This used to be industrial once, around 15 years ago, and the area was converted to tourism. for obvious reasons. Now, the old Bulls Industries shipyard was here for many, many years, constructed over 100 vessels. And here's an example of feather dusters people stick on their boats to try and stop the birds landing on them. Point. Once again, you're a remote land inaccessible by road. Lots of pine trees here again, indicating early European settlement. Used to be a lot of farmland on this side of the lake, but all that farmland's been closed out now. Then all reverted back to the coastal path. Lots of swans feeding on the seagrass bed and the lee of the sea breeze there.
These houses are on one of the islands here. There's no road access to these places. You can only get to these places by boat, and there's no electricity. There's no services over there.
There's a few Caspian tern, the larger of the tern species on the sand spit over on the other side there as well. There's some crested tern just in behind them. Now this little sand spit looks as if it would almost reach Fraser Island, but I've never seen it make it. It's a little bit short of it and that's it. Now the kangaroos and wallabies go from island to island along there, but there's never been a go across. Now we're just approaching and passing by the little Fraser Island jetty. Oh, that little ferry boat from Mara Lynn must be in the place entrance at the moment. And one of the islands, Jack Russells, there are on the little jetty as we go by. There's two little Jack Russells that live on the island. There's two permanent residents on the island, Norman and Pauline, who look after the customers. That's not a bad life, is it, living on an island?
Lake's entrance. There's the way to the sea through there. Look, Mick. Hunters and collectors, mate. Hunters and... Oh, I think he's got one. Mick. Oh, I don't know. I just think he's pulling in a bit of weed. Yes, anyway. We've got the ocean out there. And this is Lake Tyers. Yeah, I kid you not, Lake Tyers. And this is where the lake goes out to the ocean, and we're actually camped tonight at the caravan park here at Lake Tyers. Well, it's not actually called a caravan park, it's called a retreat. Good place for me. Yes, we're camped in the retreat at Lake Tyers. It's a nice little spot too. It's a caravan park, but it's got a little bushland out the back, and you drive right out the back, and I'm camped right amongst the bushes out the back. which is good. What do you think of the boat cruise? Didn't go on the luncheon cruise to Meetung. Went via another company and got on to an eco tour, which is one we were on. The luncheon cruise boat was all enclosed, and I didn't like that. I liked to walk around and get up on deck and feel the wind in your face. Anyway, we went on this boat, which I think is much better. It was $4 cheaper too.
100 metres northwest, then turn right.
Fair enough. Good morning. What do we got here? Just fired up our GPS in the morning. This morning we've got to try and skirt Melbourne. That's how close we're going to get. I'll put this away. We've got to drive from Lakes Entrance. We're going to go down to Barnsdale, Sale, and then go up to Warrigal, and then go up to where we've got to go to. I've got a point located. Hillsville. That's the closest I can. That's the closest I have to get to Melbourne to get around. If you have a look at the map, there's no roads around Melbourne without going through the high country, which at the moment is a little bit dicey. So we'll leave Lake Tyres, and we'll see how we go. You get the keys out of your pocket, don't I, in the morning? She's a little rough starting off, Dave, but when she starts, then we'll continue. Camp last night. Beautiful little bush spot at the back of the Caribbean Park. Bloody amazing. She said, oh, people come in sometimes, they're amazed they've got such a bush camping site at the back. But lovely little spot, hidden away back there. It's just virtually a road trip today, so we're not stopping for anything, so we're just trying to get some miles done today. See, there we are, we got normal caravan park people up there. Not far out of Melbourne now, got onto the freeway. Wound the old Dowdy up to 100 kilometres an hour, and we're just starting to get a few showers of rain. I wonder how cold that motorcyclist is. Ooh, it'd be cold on the bike, wouldn't it, eh? Oh dear, unfortunately I missed a couple of exits on the freeway. The GPS is trying to bring me back to a civilised road where we can continue on. You know, when I started this morning, just a minute ago, I put the camera on the GPS and it said my arrival time was about 11:22 or something. Well, we're not doing too bad. My arrival time now is 11:27. Over about 400 kilometres, so it's not too bad at estimating speed and distance, eh? Actually, it's not bad country through here, Jack, is it, mate? We're in trouble. No, this is called the Dandenong Ranges. Dandenongs, just outside of Melbourne. And at the moment, we're working our way up to Cockatoo and Gembrook. GPS is trying to find me, trying to bring me back to a bitumen road. Found the bitumen. Have a look at these trees, Rex. This is well into the Dandenongs now. There's little houses all through here. The life of the rich and famous, obviously. We're only about 50 k's from the centre of Melbourne. Smell that air, Rex. You can smell the humus and the rotting vegetation. There's a renovated delight there, that one. These little houses all up around here. The Puff and Billy steam train runs through here too, Rex. Good little ride for you and the missus, mate. They're bloody magnificent. 156,000, Jim. I don't think you can do it. Welcome to Cockatoo. Well, there you go. We're just coming into Cockatoo. That's the where the Puff and Billy runs there. We're still awake, Jack. We're just about on the outskirts of Melbourne, Jack. We're not going through Melbourne, Jack, because the roads in Melbourne scare the willies out of me. I'm going round. Here we are, we're at Cockatoo. A little town in the Dandenongs. A lot of nice little towns up here. Where's the GPS tell us to go now? I suppose we go straight across. There you are, Puff and Billy goes through there, mate. See the narrow gauge? Change gears. 7 k's to Gembrook. Well, that was Cockatoo.
150 metres into roundabout, then take second exit.
Well, there you go. Wouldn't like to be on a cruise today. We're on the Northern Highway on our way to Bendigo. Through the vibrant heart of Bendigo, and stop for a short visit to Bendigo Crown Museum. Then we'll head to the North Bendigo Terminus at Bendigo Point, where we'll commence our return journey back to Bendigo. Along the way, I'll let you down Bendigo's fascinating tramway. So let's up and down. Bendigo's founders were keen to give their city an English air, so they named the busy intersection we're now entering Charing Cross, and the wide street ahead of us Pall Mall. Charing Cross straddles the Bendigo Creek on a wooden bridge that's claimed to be the widest for its length in the world. The creek runs from our right, underneath us, to beautiful Roslyn Park on our far left. The cenotaph on our left was a gift to the city from the late Sir George Lancel. Apart from its smaller size, this memorial is identical to its counterpart in London's Whitehall district.
Next to the cenotaph is the famous Alexandra Fountain, which marks the true heart of Bendigo. Designed by Varlin and Getchman and unveiled in 1881, it's named after the then Princess of Wales. Trams also ran up View Street and along Mitchell Street on our right, with Charing Cross being the busy crossroads for trams heading to North Bendigo, Golden Square, Quarry Hill and Eagle Hall. If you like, you can break your journey and get off here at the Fountain Tram Stop. Today it houses the Visitor Information Centre and the Making a Nation Federation exhibition. Watson also designed the Bendigo Law Courts next door, with this fine establishment completed in 1896. Both buildings are decorated for viewing on all sides. Past the Law Courts, you can see the beautiful conservatory gardens. It's hard to imagine that in the 1960s, the City Council wanted to demolish the glass conservatory, all in the name of progress. Next on our left is a monument by Charles Richardson, marking Bendigo's Golden Jubilee, which was celebrated in 1901. The sculpture depicts the mythical goddess of good luck, Fortuna, dropping a gold nugget into the dish of a Bendigo digger.
So they built the building next door, which is now the Woolen Mills and well worth a visit, and they bought out the steam trams and bought themselves 12 new electric tram cars, and away they went in 1903, and that was the way things started. Now, they were never much good at buying any more new ones after the first 12. They only ever bought two other new ones, and then they settled into a pattern of hand-me-downs. In the early 1930s, the state government decided it would be a better proposition if they took over power generation. Now, things are different today. State governments are trying to flog off power generation to private enterprise, but in those days they did the opposite. So the state government formed the SEC, the State Electricity Commission of Victoria, and they took over power generation here and also in Geelong and Ballarat. Now, they weren't very excited about having trams. They just wanted the electricity. So they started trying to get rid of them henceforth. So Geelong went first, Ballarat second, and Bendigo lasted till 1972, by which stage they talked the locals into thinking they'd be better off with buses. So 1972, they decided to close the trams here. Now, by then the populace had decided they were a bit of a tourist draw card. So they petitioned the government to keep them running. The government said, well, we're not prepared to keep them running, but we'll sell them. So they formed the Bendigo Trust as a non-profit organisation to take over the gold mine up the top end of town where you guys got on, because it had closed and it was due to be bulldozed. So they decided they'd want to keep that as a tourist thing. So the Bendigo Trust took it over, and then they bought the trams for $1 off the government, and they paid $1 for the track, so that was $2 in total, and that was it. So ever since then, it's run under the Bendigo Trust as a non-profit organisation. Any money it makes goes back into keeping it running, and it runs with a mixture of volunteers, work for the Dole people who are here doing community service, and some paid staff.
There's a few of the trams they're restoring down here. This is a nice one. Here's the driver's position here. Not much room, not much of a seat either. We've got a nice bit of LED light here. A better seat on that one.
Be a bit breezy in winter, wouldn't it, eh? Yes, all very good.
Waruna Avenue is another street lined with stately elm trees. Back along this street is Bendigo's medical precinct, centred around the modern facilities of the Bendigo Healthcare Group. You'll also find major sports complexes, catering for athletics, cycling, lawn tennis, swimming, cricket, football and lawn bowls. And perched on the higher ground overlooking the city, you can see some of Bendigo's grandest old homes. We're now heading into Caledonia Street, then we'll turn into Thunder Street, which leads up to the old Commonwealth Ordnance Factory.
The Hustlers line of reef runs almost immediately below the Bendigo Visitor Centre and extends from the Discovery Centre at the Marketplace in the south all the way to the Bendigo Showgrounds in the north. As you can see, some of the old workings are completely covered by recent town development, while mines like Hustlers Reef and United Hustlers still show evidence of the early mining. Despite being the third most productive anticline in the Bendigo goldfield, there are few significant shafts to the east of the Hustlers line. As we see below ground level, the Hustlers line is not as extensive as the Garden Gully or New Chum lines. However, it is recognised as one of the richest lines of reef, with a total gold production in excess of 1.2 million ounces. The 1,065 metres deep Great Extended Hustlers mine accounts for almost 600,000 ounces of gold, and this with an average grade of an astounding 21 grams per tonne, equivalent to 2/3 of an ounce per tonne. The Hustlers line is thought to contain at least another 1.5 million ounces of gold, down to a nominal depth of 1,500 metres below surface.
Well, it's dinner time again in Bendigo. Oh dear. I've got an indigestion Subway thing here. I've got some plastic biscuits from the Subway shop. And we had a ride on the Bendigo talking tram, which was good. I like that. And went and had a look at the, what was it? The Golden Dragon Museum. All very Chinesey. And I went in and had a look at the, finally got a park in front of the visitor centre. I must, where's my bloody glasses? Have a look at this, you'll like this. See those little things there? Well, this morning I got up and broke my wings. Little things that sit on your nose. So I went around to the optometrist here, I don't know what they're bloody called. I went in there and she said, "Oh, I'll fix you up." She said, "When are you going to put the little ones in?" I said, "Put metal ones in place." She said, "How much it cost you?" She said, "I just put a donation in the jar." So I put a bit of money. It was very good. Very good of them. Very good of them. My indigestion, Subway is starting to cause indigestion. We were camped in Whipstick. Whipstick State Park last night. Nice quiet spot. Nice quiet spot. And we went, very hard to find. You'll never bloody find it in a million years. Never find it. I had to put the coordinate. That's the clock. I had to put the little coordinates in my little computer and put go to there, and I went there. Their directions in the book weren't all that friendly. Anyway, we going, bloody noise! Oh, I think he stopped now. Oh God, here we go. We got bloody 12 of these to go. Oh, Nora. After he stopped chiming, we're going to leave Bendigo. We're going to go to Castlemaine. We're going to go to Castlemaine. And then we're going to go down through Dalesford, Hepburn Springs, and we're going to camp near Ballarat. I don't think we'll have time to go into Ballarat tomorrow. Now, I know I've been to Ballarat before, and I know I've been to Sovereign Hill before, but I'm going back again. I don't know how much I'll film, but I'm going to go back again and have a damn good look. But I think we'll be camping near Creswick. You get all these places written down, are you? All these subway bloody things getting blown around. Probably near Creswick tomorrow night. Tonight is cute. No, it's not. That's cool. Oh, I'm starting to rave. We're camping near Creswick tonight. There's a little free campsite there, just out of Ballarat. We don't know how I'm going to go, because tonight is the first night, the Friday night of school holidays in Victoria. All hell's going to let loose in Victoria tonight. Tonight? What's tonight? No. I'm talking crap. All hell's going to let loose tomorrow night. Because that's Friday night, and can't get me thing up there, bloody. And all hell's going to let loose because the bloody little ferrets out of bloody Melbourne will be let loose on the countryside. So tomorrow night is the night we got to watch. So anyway, tonight we're going to go to there. We're going to go to Ballarat tomorrow, and then we got to get out of town.
This is Tipperary Spring near Dalesford, and water restrictions aside, it's a very pretty area, isn't it? This is the pump house for Deep Spring Natural Spring, and it joins into the same creek as Tipperary Spring. Creek runs down there, and it seeps out at the bottom here, and at the bottom here you can see the water flowing there into the creek. But they've got a little outlet here for us humans. So if we taste it, ugh. Tastes like flat soda water. Oh, it's a very minerally taste. A little bit, I wouldn't say it tastes like bore water, but it's similar sort of thing. What do we got? Discovered 1847. Carbonate of lime, 25%, magnesium, 35%. Soda, that's what I can taste, the 18%. Chloride of soda and silica. So there you are, it's got a lot of little jippers in it, hasn't it? It's a fair little walk down here. The other stream, Tipperary Spring, was actually shut down because of the recent rains. They reckon it was polluting the water. But up at Dalesford, they got little spas and that set up where they put the water in and bubble it up, and you can go in there and have a bit of a wade. But I wouldn't go for drinking it. Little birdie. I wouldn't go for drinking it. It's a little minerally. He's not going to stop, is he? Yes. A little minerally for my taste. Bit like that water at Cocklebiddy Cave, Jim. Wasn't salt, but geez, a bit of high mineral. Anyway, we'll walk back up the fair walk, this one. Walk back up to the car. Here we go, the Slaty Creek Road. Let's go down here a bit and turn into the creek, and I think we might camp there the night. good spot here for your little car, Jack. That should stop the tourists from getting to me, shouldn't it? Should be a quiet little spot here tonight. And the rumour has it there's gold in them there creeks. So we might even try for our luck, eh? A little bit quiet, which is good. Got ourselves a table to eat our tucker off tonight. Oh, someone's been trying their bloody saw out here, Jim. My other campsite I went to, they had a fire already burning. I got my shovel and put it out. The poor buggers shouldn't leave their fire burning when they leave, should they? What do we got here tonight? Baked beans with spicy sausages. And it's got written down the bottom, sounds good. I'll put a bit of the Colonel's corn in there, bit of salt and pepper, bit of this stuff. Where is it? Here. McCormick seasonal spicy. What's it got in it? Ooh, with a hint of chilli. That's good. Add a zing to most dishes. It's good enough. The old larder's getting down a bit. Oh, what do we got here? Stag. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'll have to have that tomorrow night. Stag beef with chili beans. A taste of the old West. John Wayne would be proud of it. Yeah, not a bad spot here. I reckon you can pan for gold in the creek, but I know this creek mustn't connect up with the one down there because this one's not running and that one is. Not a bad camp for only about 20 kilometres from Ballarat. Looks like the boys with their motorcycles go boring around through here. Yeah, I went, there's another camp back up the road, back up, and then back around a bit on the creek again further back, and the fire was still burning. I looked around, there wasn't anyone there, so I drove up. There's heaps of cans of Bundy and Coke and Jam Bean and this sort of shit there, so I put that all on the fire, covered it with dirt. I did my good deed for the day. Oh well, come in cold tonight. Hope you got your blankets with you. It's good up there, isn't it? Amongst the tall eucalyptus. No ferns here. No ferns here. It's a lot drier. A hell of a lot drier than it was through the dandelions. There's some of the smaller nuggets. There's the hand of faith. Little Poseidon. It's the welcome stranger. Over here's the welcome nugget. What's interesting here is the photograph here, and it says down there it was photographed the day after it was found. All sorts of gold finding accoutrements here. Life in the goldfields.
The Canberra building, which is the bridge over the Eldorado Creek, which gave Bridge Street its
early drawings of Ballarat. And once again we see the mention of this Lola Montez story. The tram driver told us in Bendigo that someone wrote up about Lola Montez in the paper, in the local paper. So she went to the local paper office, asked to speak to the editor, and went up to see the editor, and she plied her feminine ways on him and got him to disrobe, and then she took out a stock whip she had and she drove him through the streets of Bendigo naked in front of the stock whip. She got her own back, eh? Good story. Oh, this shows an early panorama of Ballarat. Shows some of the early photographs. We never see him smiling very much, do we?
Amy som är bäst det. Så är det.
We desire gold. We feel we never have enough of it. We make war on one another and tunnel laboriously through the earth to obtain it. But gold, after all, is only an element, a metal, just as iron, copper, and lead are metals. Each is valued according to its use, but not gold. This noblest of metals possesses a peculiar perfection, around which we have woven a spell. Our imaginations will always be radiant with its glow. There has never been a stranger quest for gold than that of the alchemists, practitioners of transmutation, the extravagant dream of turning lead into gold. Although the methodology of their conjuring became the basis of modern science, their dream proved too fantastic. So if gold could not be created, it would have to be found, or else wrested from those who possessed it.
One interesting piece of history is that when the explorers from Spain and Portugal first came to the Western Hemisphere, neither hemisphere, the Western nor the Eastern, knew of the other's existence, and yet both held gold in very high esteem.
In the 16th century, Spanish conquistadors ravaged the New World in their search for gold, often melting down the treasures they found, and all but destroying the legacy of the Incan and Aztec cultures. When gold was not found so conveniently, there was little recourse but to search for the natural vein.
Sometimes the veins have cavities in them, and the gold can form its natural crystals, which are quite beautiful.
As you may have guessed, we're at Sovereign Hill, going down the main street here. We saw the man on the metal lathe a minute ago, steam powered metal lathe, making pots and pans and gold panning dishes. He said unless the gold panning dish will rust, it's no bloody good. You got to black it in the fire first, Jim.
Grocery store before. If you buy something from the grocery store, it'll be wrapped in this paper. You can use anything for wadding. We've used posters off the walls before. We've used leaves off that tree. We've used bits of our clothing. We've used dried up horse manure. Doesn't matter what we use. Anything. As long as the black powder doesn't get wet, it doesn't fall out. You can imagine it chips out again. So I just want to ram it down there basically. You can see it's quite a slow process to load and fire one of these muskets. The very, very best, the fastest troopers of our day could load and fire in 20 seconds. It's the best. It's the best. So basically, you go in somewhere with your gun loaded, you shoot your musket and run. Find a quiet place to do this. So we ram it down with a ramrod. It's attached to our gun. Us troopers, you probably guessed, we're very smart people. We're always losing our ramrods. That's why they attached them. Very good idea. That's ready. You can bounce it. If it drops, it bounces. Perfect. Now we have something called a percussion cap. It's like a cap off a cap gun. I've used one of those before. I'm going to put it on the end, just there, and hit it, like so. And when it gets struck, it explodes. It sends a bit of spark or fire into the black powder, it sets the gun off. Very, very simple way it works. And usually I'll put a bullet in now. This is a musket bullet. It's very bullet shaped, isn't it? Looks like a bullet. Yes. It's made of lead, the same sort of weight what we saw before. And again, it fits down there very, very easily. You put my wadding on top and as soon as it's flying through the air, it doesn't spin at all, it just flies. It's got a range of 90 yards. Does anyone know how far 90 yards is? No, neither do I. No idea. It's something like from here. You see the wheelwrights factory, you see the top building up there? If you're standing in the doorway, I should be able to hit you. That's the range and accuracy of this gun, so pretty good. A lot better than the pistol we saw before. Are we all ready? Of course, I'm not going to shoot a bullet out today. You know why?
Not too loud.
It's hard to explain.
I have a sick patient, grandmother, on her last legs.
Is she dead?
All of your patients are on their last legs.
Now, that's a good point. She is deaf, so she won't hear it anyway.
Are we all ready? Are you ready? Do you know how to put your fingers in your ears? That's for the best. I guess you all put your fingers in your ears, actually, especially the young ones. A couple of young guys here. It's very, very, very loud. Fingers news. We all ready? I'm going to get you all to count from 3 down to 1. Count down with me. When we get down to 1, I'll shoot that tree. That's going to be loud. Fingers and ears, you ready? Counting with me. 3, 2, 1. That's the worst countdown I've ever heard. This time as loud as you possibly can. Make sure the whole sovereign can hear. Counting with me. 3, 2, 1.
It wasn't very loud.
Snowing over there. Isn't that lovely? Thanks for coming along, folks. Enjoy your day. We'll rest you all later. Have a great time. Thank you.
Good day, and I thank you from the bottom of my joyous heart for your attendances in my new theatre over the past 2 nights. As you will all no doubt remember that very tragic day when my previously named Dowdy theatre was burned to the ground. You remember that, don't you? Why, it was yesterday. Well, it wasn't yesterday. I have since rebuilt. I promised to rebuild. I have, and I also promised to open my brand new theatre named after our monarch, Queen Victoria. God save the Queen. God save the Queen.
God save the Queen.
What's the matter with you? You're Irish. You who have already witnessed Madame Montez's alluring spider dance will no doubt know that she is alluring and that is possessive of those qualities which are very alluring to the male eye. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Scoundrel, that betrayer, Henry Seacamp! Come out here, say these things to my face, and cease to hide behind your newspaper.
Madam, what seems to be the problem?
I just received the paper, Mr. Crosby. It appears that Mr. Seacamp, who styles himself as editor of the Ballarat Times, has written malicious and slanderous words about me and my performance of the spider dance.
Day.
He writes that I'm one who, to say the least, has no claim on this good book of bench, and whose notoriety is of an unenviable kind. He signs the civics, and I recognise his hand in this. I know you're in there, Henry. You're afraid of me, a defenceless woman.
Yes, that's right. He's probably cowering in the bar, ma'am, as we speak. You know, if he was here right now, do you know what I'd say to him? I'd say, Crosby, you, sir.
Wow.
And good morning to you, sir. That's.
And my name is Mr. Seacamp, not Mr. Crosby, by the way.
Well, I just got a bit fast in the water.
Well, Father Montez, I heard you have replied my questions, did you, madam?
Yes.
Madam,
I certainly did. Now I wish to know why you found it acceptable to be at my table, drinking my port, guzzling my sherry and the next, slander my name in this petty excuse for a page.
Right.
Of course, these days they don't have the wooden bearings anymore. They put steel shafts through and they put bearings on the inside. But they still make the wheels the old way, using and make their hubs here too. There's that over there. And that's where we're going in a minute, on the Sovereign Hill Gold Mine Tour.
You don't do. You didn't mean outfit, did you? Right. Come on in, gang. Mining's so terribly exciting was the fact there were times like this you could find pounds of gold. If you knew about that thing. Can you all see the black line on the wall? Yep. Carbonaceous slate, known as a carbon indicator line. If you found one of these in the dirt, you followed it down, hoping you'd hit a quartz reef. So we don't understand why, but the gold would accumulate around that carbon line. You could get filthy rich overnight. Beauty. Now, a few aspersions are being cast. Is it real gold or isn't it?
Don't try and reach in and touch it as we leave, because there is an alarm just on the other side of that post. So don't reach in or the whole place will know. Now, is it real gold?
No.
Well, I've got news for you, it is real gold.
No.
Ah. But is it real lumps of gold? No. Your 13-year-old boy on the truck, he's being paid about $400 a week, so it's good money. And maybe, you know, if you've got, say, father and, say, the two elder boys down the mine, the family's doing quite well. Maybe by the time that father gets too ill to be able to come down the mine, a couple more of the lads will be able to be down here to help them take over, to help support the family. Tough way to do it? Yes, it was. But we still have a lot of Cornish and a lot of Welsh descendants, directly descended from the miners. Even thought what we could do, we could make the centre core hollow. If we do that, we can pump water down through the middle of that, and if we do that, hey, that'll get rid of the dust. That should get rid of the silicosis. Seemed like a great idea at the time. Sadly, though, it gave us a bigger health hazard than we realised. Where we are at the moment, we're about 90 feet underground. Quite comfortable here, isn't it? Go down about 2,000 feet, and it's very different. About 2,000 feet down, it's hot and it's muggy. It's about 38 degrees Celsius, and it's around about 85% humidity. Now, when you put more water in the mine by putting it through the drill, this will raise the humidity in the mine to about 95%. That's a lot of moisture to breathe in the 10-hour shift. So, at the end of a 10-hour shift, here you are full of all this nice warm gluggy stuff. You walk back to the platform, you get in the cage, zip, you're up the top, and you step out and it's night time. What's Ballarat famous for at night?
Fogs.
Hey?
Is it fogs?
Cold.
Cold. Yes, we get damn cold. 2 or 3 degrees, couple of lungfuls of that, it's all this nice warm gluggy stuff inside you. It'll condense, it'll liquefy, you start getting water in your lungs. Yes, you're getting pneumonia.
When do you want to start?
Yeah, so, you know, you can imagine if you saw a miner in the street and said, "Morning, Alf," if he didn't talk to you, he wasn't being rude, was he? Now, 31 years ago, we blew a hole through there, thinking that we were going to be tunnelling along through solid rock. We're most surprised to come out here and find this. Beauty. Bonus. It's ironic to sort of think too, I suppose Sovereign Hills probably made more money out of this than what the original miners did. But I'm sure they went away quite happy, and I'll tell you what I based it on in a minute. So, but it doesn't look heavily timbered. This has been dug out with hand tools, no explosives, that's why the lack of timber. Hand tools only, no machinery at all. You don't need a water pump because at this point we're still about 200 feet above water level. So there's none of that. Alright, serious stuff. Here we go. Look at this. Danger, unsupported ground. Do not enter. Now, hang on, that doesn't look right. Look at all those wooden poles beside the television. Now, as you can see on the TV, the ones that are up here with me as well. Of course, they look like they're holding up the roof, but they're not. Well, if they're not holding up the roof, what the heck are they doing here? They're not firewood. They're here as a warning device. Very clever idea. It's called a talking timber. You see, if the roof is going to collapse on this one, put a lot of pressure on that post as it starts to move. If it does that, the post will moan and groan. If it does that, I've got 20 seconds. What am I going to do in 20 seconds?
Pray.
Hard one, was it? You can run a hell of a long way in a mine in 20 seconds. I've done it, not in this one. So, stope and pillar mine. Well, that's a stoped out area, that tunnel there. And that's the other stope that I came up through, that tunnel there. Then, hang on, where the heck's this pillar? There it is. And that's a pillar of gold bearing, load bearing quartz. Good solid stuff. And that's been holding up the roof of the mine for about the last 120 years. This is where the skill comes in. These guys have to know how much of it they must leave versus how much they can take, because if there's gold in it, you want it. Now, you probably can't see, but there's a nice little trickle across there. There's a good spot right there, though. So, yeah, there's gold in there. There's probably about 3 or 4 tons in that coal. Then, if you're lucky, you might get an ounce or so of gold. Chances are that if you tuck it out, the mine's going to collapse. You'll wind up about 2 inches tall. That's not a good idea. That means you're awfully dead. Now, I'm just heading down now, a bit further below you. So I'm about to duck down a little tunnel that's only 1 metre high. This is the original entryway into the mine. Ooh. Yeah, can we all see that, mate?
Yeah.
So that's 100 foot all the way up to there. As soon as I threw a rope ladder down, I climbed out, I come out in a paddock right beside the candlemakers in Main Street of Sovereign Hill. Once that's handy, it's right beside the undertakers. Now, we don't know how many guys, but I'll say 3 dug their way down here, pick, shovel, crowbar. Probably took them about a month, because the ground's not that hard at this point. All the way down, of course, they're looking for a sign. They got to here and found a sign and told them where to stop. No, not that one. There we go. Naughty me. Right there. Nice little interesting vein, orange coloured. gold-bearing quartz, beauty. Now it's not big enough to make it worth following. Sorry, to dig it out for its gold, I apologise. But it is worth following. You know, like you follow the river down to the ocean, they hope, lots. So they're following it along, but it's not getting bigger, in fact it got smaller. Drat, it ran out. Hang on, backtrack a bit, there's another one down there. There we are. All right, round the corner, new tunnel. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Drat, it ran out too. A couple more metres in though, and suddenly in the roof they found something which got them all excited and they dug up here. And they came out and found all these tourists in their mine. Nah. They're probably sitting on company land, I'll get to that in a minute, which means if they were, then they'd be tributors. Otherwise, they independently own the lease, and then they'd be mining independently on their own. They have two options. But did they do a right out of this? I reckon they did. And I don't base it on the fact they left behind the TV either. That quartz pillar I showed you up the back, and it's got a counterpart that comes back this way a bit, is the only quartz that's been left. Got rid of me then.
Thank you.
Only on the entrance.
I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights. Especially when they're red. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights, especially when they're red. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights, especially when they're red. On our way to camp tonight. Middle campground. Good evening. Camp for the night, middle campground, Bungor Ranges National Park. Geez, I hope I pronounced that one correctly. Yes, we were camped up on the mountain up there. The weather started to come in. Here I'm in the middle of the drought, complaining about the rain. Hey, last time I was away, didn't it? Perhaps I should go away more often and break the drought. Good morning. We're on top of a ruddy great mountain here overlooking Ararat. It's fairly cold here this morning. Ararat's down there in amongst the fog and mist.
It's a fairly not very clear morning this morning. Must thank the Rotary Club of Ararat for putting this up here. This is looking towards Stawell and Horsham, and there's the Grampians over there. We're 600 metres above sea level here. Fairly high. In Victoria they officially call the snow line 600 metres. Any road above 600 metres has to have warnings on it. It's snow and ice. Interesting little mountain over there, isn't it, eh? There's a wind farm just behind me. I don't know why that is. It's fairly windy up here. Almost as good as the view out of a balloon, isn't it? And we're up high on another high spot again. This is overlooking Hall's Gap, and I don't care how many times you see it, that is bloody magnificent. I'll pan you around. I don't pan you around very much, do I, Jack? Very cold up here this morning. 850 metres up, the car says, or the GPS says anyway. That's bloody beautiful out there. Bit of fog around this morning. We've got Hall's Gap down there. Yes. Fog and mist around today too, but needless to say, that is bloody beautiful. Looks like Hall's Gap had a bushfire not long ago. Like the regrowth, it was last year sometime. It's been a hell of a burn. It's all down around Hall's Gap. It's also burnt, and all through here. And there's signs up every now and again. This is closed. That's closed. You know, the road here off the off-road there is closed. The road to that picnic ground is closed. Geez, look at those blackened trunks up there. Oh, we've cleared all the undergrowth anyway. There's not a lot of undergrowth left. A lot thicker before. You couldn't actually walk through it, but now you could. On the way to Zumsteins. You have to be very careful driving along here. The road's fairly windy. There's no gaps on either side. Drop off. This is the Mackenzie River. The Mackenzie River Falls are up there. But it's nice to know places like this still exist, isn't it? When we're in a drought. That's bloody beautiful, isn't it, Jack? Here's the Zumstein house. He built a couple of other outbuildings out here for holiday makers. Looks like there's a bit of flat land there. He's going to build another one. But had a lot of holiday makers come up here. Now this place is yours, so take care of it. I want picnickers to be enjoying Zumsteins well into the future. It's a very special place. Well, it is too. Even dug his own swimming pool here. It says on the plaque back there it took him 5 years with a pick and shovel. Just working on it every now and again. This is the swimming pool. And he fed it via pipes off of the Mackenzie River. Yes, very nice place. Be a beautiful little holiday retreat. As you said, very special place. Bit of bird life here. Oh, we've got a bit of trickling water down there. We come back. This was the road bridge into Zumsteins. There's the other bridge we saw up there. Not bad, is it? See, there's the other bridge just there. And lo and behold, they're pulling payphones out all over Australia in the middle of the bloody dongery in Zumsteins. They got a payphone. Gee, that one must be making a lot of money. I think he's getting a bit big for the pouch there, Mum says. Bloody beautiful, isn't it, Jack? On our way to Narracourt. We've made our way to Narracourt and we're going through this, what they believe the cave looked like before, while they were in their formation. Some of the prehistoric animals here. They've found fossils of these animals in the bottom of the caves. You'd be happy to know we missed the 2:15 tour because we couldn't find the place, but we're going to have a look at the back cave later on. He's a big one, isn't he?
That's fun. Alright, let me go again. Yeah, go back.
The opening is down the bottom of the hill, so it's quite a big cave,
And this is where I'd be expecting, cross your fingers, there's bats in there because we've got new cameras. We're hoping they'll give birth in there. I think it's going to be very graphic. How long do bats live? Bent green bats from here have sun-bedded bats have been found 25 years later with a tag on them. Wow. Just bear with me every time, it'll just take me a couple of moments to get a good clear shot. Oh, you know what's happening? It's not what you might think is happening. Oh no, actually it's not what I thought was happening either. Sometimes they shiver to wake up to get their blood flowing, but I think that one's just grooming itself. Up there.
They obviously don't mind the cameras.
No, there's a little bit of a whirry sound, but there's no light or anything. No, it doesn't bother them. I didn't realise, and I've been in there a few times, I didn't know you're not allowed to look at the cameras. We were told that the other day, I don't know if I've ever done it before. They love the way they just walk backwards.
So how are they holding them? They got like a little claw? Or?
They dig in, they've got sharp claws, and then they lock in a tendon, and that's why you see the bats fried, the fruit bats fried on the electrical locks, because they lock in as they do that, and then they get electrocuted.
The one that was hanging from our tree at home was amazing, because he was just hanging by this one little
Yeah,
claw, and on this very spindly little branch.
Yeah, but he's lost it. And then we find bats die on the roof, attached to the roof. It might take 12 months before they actually fall off.
And we could go right up close to him, he was right down low. He was just,
What's it?
And his other leg was like flopping.
Oh no, it's beautiful.
It was such a cute little face.
And he was like watching us as we came up close to him.
You're either a bat fanatic or you hate them. I think there's almost no in between, but I think as I understand bats, I'm really grown to love them. I loathe rodents. If you put me in a room with a rat, I'll be up on the table. I'd rather be in a room with a snake than a rat. But, I mean, bats aren't anything like a rodent, nothing at all.
And so do they actually cling together like that for a reason?
They're just sociable and they groom each other like monkeys do. So they're quite active. Did you all imagine they'd sleep in the day?
Yeah, I did. Maybe flying
I
around.
thought if the cave is like really dark, they'd probably come out thinking it's night or something.
Yeah.
Why do they hang out just in that one spot?
I'm not sure. Because they can, I think. I always think, you know, when I was a little girl playing in Blanche Cave, a little girl who had never seen television because there was no television station around here till I was about 12, I mean, man hadn't walked on the moon or anything, would I ever imagine technology could actually come this far, that you could see a bat in such detail,
In the
pitch
dark.
black, you know. Yeah. You can see what I mean about how graphic the birthing process will be in this bit. Oh, look at yours. Yeah. They're a bit rude the way they walk across their neighbours' heads, though. It has to hurt. When people have weddings here, they most often have their photographs taken
It's like
down
a
there.
cathedral. It's pretty, isn't it?
I had to supervise a wedding one day, and I'd known that the week before a guide had looked up into the column and there's a bird's nest on the side of it, and she saw something hanging down from that and listening. Guess what it was? Brown snake eating the bird's eggs out of the...
Oh no!
So I had to do snake check before the wedding.
That would have been
Vision
that.
of
Yes,
this brown
exactly.
snake slithering down the bride's veil. Not that snakes live in here, it's just they can get in and out.
Yeah, look at the pink up here, isn't it?
It's very almost lolly pink in this snake.
It's really surreal, isn't it?
Yes.
I think it's because it's so big and open.
Yeah, yeah.
And there is daylight coming into
Yes.
it. Kind of makes it
and it's
very weird.
Also changes with the day, the time of day. This has been touted as one of the most exciting finds in decades. All sorts of different scientists are interested in it. All sorts of different techniques are being used here. They found pollen. They've done a pollen date, which we haven't been able to do in the other caves. That might tell us what the environment was like here once and how it might have changed. They've collected possum poos, possum scats from about 20,000 years ago, and they're going to DNA test them. You know, they'll know what was happening in the possum world during the last glacial maximum. They're going to look, of course, very closely at the layers above the extinctions and then below the extinctions.
You quite distinctly see the layers there.
Yeah, because the $1 million question is, you know, why did the megafauna die out? And one of the theories is humans.
They
It's
were
not
tasty.
one we like to think about, but it is one of the theories. There's charcoal in here. They're going to look very carefully and also date that charcoal, because one of the theories is the use of fire might have changed the vegetation to more fire-resistant vegetation that some of these big animals couldn't adapt to.
We're at the entrance of the bat cave at Narracourt Caves, and we're just listening to the bats come out on their way, on their nightly forage. See them against the sky? There's hundreds of them coming out the cave, and amazingly none of them hit me. They're moving very quick. See them there?
Well, what do you think of the bats? I don't know whether it comes out on camera, but it's absolutely magnificent. You're standing there and you see these dark shapes whooshing past you, and none of them hit you, but you can feel the wind as they rush past you all around at all different sides, and they're scooting here and scooting there. It's absolutely magnificent. You gotta see that. Anyway, she had a little camera in the bat cave, and it's completely dark, and it was all lit up with infrared, and she can look around, and that's what we saw on the telly. Little camera was down in the bat cave, and she was looking at the bats and that, and we saw them hanging on the walls. That's good. We had a look at a couple of little walk-in caves today too. But tomorrow we're having a look at what they call the delicate caves. We've got the guided tour. We've got to get it in the Alexandria cave. That's supposed to be very photographically very good, and have all the little pretty bits in it, and the stalactites and stalagmites and all that sort of stuff. Then we've got the Victoria Fossil Cave tomorrow too, which is supposed to have a lot of fossils and lots of very interesting archaeologically. Very hard to pronounce that. Morel. We've got the telly running here. Be watching the Iron Chef, mate. Morel wanted to know bit out of focus how I set up my telly. Well, it's a bit like the Bat Cave, Morel. You're sitting here and I video the telly.
That's what I was doing in the bat cave when we was videoing the bat cave, bats anyway in the cave. This is the Victoria Fossil Cave.
I know this is called. I've seen this stuff in a video. I don't remember what they're called. And he was standing on this big rock pole which you're on, which has been modernised a bit for your comfort, and looking out. Well, it's a good shadow, isn't it? And he saw fossils. So he went underneath the ledge and he could stand up, but, and I don't know if this makes sense, he was actually standing up near the roof because there was this massive chamber that over hundreds of thousands of years had filled almost to the brim with animals and also sediment too, dirt, that had washed through heaps of holes. So the holes, these nasty pitfall traps, it was too late. By the time the animals got to them, it was too late and they fell in. So the top of the cave was like a minefield. Yeah. I don't know if this helps, but if you look this way, there is a hole. This was a hole. See that? That was a blocked hole. That was a hole open to the top. Do you see the cone of sediment underneath?
Yeah.
Well, under there, about 60 metres back, you've got to imagine this ginormous cone reaching the roof and containing 9 holes. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Watch, guys. We don't want to fall down there. No, definitely not. Oh, dear. Good boy. Come on then. So if there's anyone that hasn't ever picked a piece of calcite up, here's your chance. Who wants it? Anyone? You got it? It's really heavy. It's really heavy. So we'll pass it along. How old is that, did you say? From this level, I'd say 20 million. I know up top I said 780 was the last time the sea was here, but it had been coming in from about 40 million and go back and coming back out again.
Half a mummy.
He's got it.
Of the ground.
Can you take a picture of this that Daddy's got?
Of the concrete.
Batty, picture of this.
Anybody else?
Yeah, this. Can you take a picture of that, Batty?
Okay.
We'll help you.
Okay.
Do you want to? Okay, you got it. You want to hold it too?
Don't drop it on him, you'll squash him.
And then the big boy can have it back, okay? Because he hasn't
Got it? My arms are all wet and my legs.
Okay. Thank you. What would you think of the caves? I couldn't video much in there because they don't allow people to video too much in the caves. On a very windy afternoon, I'm at a very desolate spot here, but it's actually supposed to be quite different. This is Bull Lagoon. Usually they have a bit of a kerfuffle here. Used to have a bit of a kerfuffle when the duck season opened. But apparently there's very little water. I'll zoom you in on a little bit of water. This is quite novel. You've actually got a little bit of water in Bull Lagoon. This is all supposed to be water around the old Dowdy here. Actually, there's a little bit of water over there. But have a look at this. All around us. This is all supposed to be water here. Very shallow lagoon. There goes me hat. All around is supposed to be water. There's boardwalks and that all out. They're all dry. There's a little bit of bird life, I tell you, but this is supposed to be a, now it's called Bull Lagoon Conservation Park. And, yeah, get me hat. Can't lose me hat, can I? But as you can see, it's very, very dry. There's the end of where we can drive down there, but I had a bit of height here, so I thought I might show you from here. Very, very windy here today. Yes. Bull Lagoon, very dry. And this being September, after winter, this is supposed to be when it's got all this water in it. So I don't know what the migratory birds are going to do when they get here. They'll have to bring their own water, eh? Yes, quite amazing. That's all supposed to be low-lying swamp out there. And I've walked down and had a bit of a look. It's as dry as a dead dingo's donger out there. As you can see, all the reeds and the grasses are going into survival mode. I'm standing at the very tip of Cape Buffin near Southend, and I know you like looking at scenery, Jack. Have a look at this, mate. It's fairly windy here today, Jack. We're going to camp the night down here at Southend in the campground if we can, if there's not too many campers from hell down there. I'll just take you over the other side here. A lot of water out there, Jack. I got my hat off because I thought I might lose it. Yeah, Jack, have a look at that there, mate. That's not bad, is it? Your little boat being a hell of a bind in there, mate. All those rocks have got sharp edges on them. Anyway, there's the Dowdy up there. We're going to see if we can find a campsite tonight in Canberra National Park. That's if it's not all booked out with bloody campers from hell. Not a bad scene anyway, is it, Jack? Morning. We're in Beachport, and yes, the mozzies ate me alive last night. Wasn't too good. I thought there was just a couple of them, but yeah, I got up this morning and they're all over the windscreen of the car. They're putting it onto a little skip that goes in the water. on the little scenic drive in Beachport. While we were going along, we saw the men with the boat driving along, getting ready to slip it into the water, so I thought I might film that. I think Jack likes to see the boats being slipped into the water, don't you, mate? It's all interesting, it's all interesting. Nice bit of water down there. Nice scenic coast along here. Very nice coast. There's a big boat out there on the water. Don't know what that one is. I said, do you want to slip that one in? And he said, oh no, that's a little big for us. A little bit big for us. That is a nice scene though, isn't it, Jack? In the early morning light. Bloody beautiful. This is the pool of Siloam. It's supposed to be a pool of very hyper salty water. Let's go down and take a dip. Oh, the water's cold. I wonder why that is. Oh, oh, it's hyper salty. That's more salty than salt. Oh, that's still salt. Oh, I can still taste that salt. Really, this is a crackling bit of coast, isn't it, Jack, along here? Bloody beautiful. Bloody beautiful. Just down from Beachport, the sea's just over there. And inland a bit is the salt lakes here. This is Lake George. There's some bloody nice camps in along here, just quietly. I'll have to come back here and camp one day, eh? Have a look on your map, you'll see that Lake George is fairly large. It's not bad in the early morning light, is it, Jack? We're taking a walk along the jetty at Beachport. Dub to men in a tub. I'm standing on the end of the jetty at Beachport, and it's quite a good view around here, Rex. Got an island out there. We come along, we got that slipway that was down there. There's the lighthouse up there and a few residential houses. Nice houses up there, aren't they? And we come along to the low-lying area and the old area of Beachport. And got the town centre here with all the fine trees and that lying around. The pub there. Swing around out here. The boat's at anchor. And this boat here, I tell you what, if ever you wanted to get seasick, I reckon you could roll around on that one for a couple of days and see how you get on. I reckon it'd be good, wouldn't it, Dave? Wouldn't have to blow a bastard for that one, would it? I reckon you could even get seasick and anchor. There you go. Have a look at it go. She's rocking around, isn't that good? Yes. Beachport.
Going down the Beachport jetty, I saw this fisherman there, and Mick, he had the ultimate fishing machine. He had a little buggy, he had a lift up lid and he could sit on it, and had his bait and little compartments in there, and he had a pot in the front for his bucket and his crab net hooked on the side. But he had this machine, and of course being a jetty fisherman you always want a rod holder. Well, he got rod holders on his little buggy, but if you catch a big one, of course, the buggy falls over, he says. So what he's got this tube, and he's worked out this thing, Mick. He's got a bolt with a plate on the end of it, and it's the right width to fit down the gaps in the jetty of the Beachport jetty. And anyway, he puts it down, he turns it, and then he's got a big washer on top with a wing nut. He ties that up, and on the top of the bolt is welded a rod holder. So he puts it in, turns it around to face the sea, does his wing nut up, and then he can put his rod holder in and holds his rod while he's on the jetty. Of course, on his little cart, he's got little hooks on the side where he can hook all his crab nets, and he got a little umbrella there, and I think he goes down for the day, Mick. I honestly think he said it's a long jetty. You've got to carry all this stuff down. I reckon he can just about care about it, but Mick, put it that way. Anyway, we're on our way to bloody where are we going? Robe. Right, we'll go to Robe.
A few big boats down here, Jack. This is the commercial wharf area at Robe. Robe's a funny little bay. It's got a nice little sheltered harbour in here, and you've got an entrance through there which goes out and around out to sea. Very protected. It's almost a little bay, almost landlocked. Got big water out there, Jack, so you have to have big boats, mate. Talking to the man at Beachport, he was loading his cray pots on the thing, and I said, what, cray season open? He said, no, not for a couple of more months yet, a couple of more weeks or whatever. He said, they're going out after king crab. And I said, I've never heard of king crab. Who eats king crab? And he said, the Chinese, mate, they take anything. So they're going out after king crab. This looks like a cray boat as well, with a little cradle on the side. He just come out of nowhere, didn't he? He had a little fish, I think. He's all gentle on top, but he's going like the clappers underwater, mate. Yeah. Yeah, he said they go after king crab before the season starts. Use the same pots as the cray. And I said, how many cray do you normally get in a pot? And he said, 20 or 30. I said, how many do you keep? And he said, well, that's how many we keep, about 20 or 30. So we get a few in each pot. Beautiful scene here for you, Jack. I think you've seen this before, but it's not bad. Very nice houses along here. Here's the current lighthouse at Robe. Man-eating shark.
That white whale must be the same that some call Moby Dick. Moby Dick, shouted Ahab. Do ye know the white whale then, Tash? Does he fantail a little curious, sir, before he goes down? Said the gay-header deliberately. And has he a curious spout, too? Said Dagu. Very bushy, even for a parmacetti, and mighty quick, Captain Ahab.
It's Lake Alexandrina out there. We've just gone through Meningie. And I don't think the water looks much lower, but I suppose it's got to be a bit lower, doesn't it? Because they're all through town, they got signs up, you know, say no to the weir, say no to the weir. Well, I suppose if the weir goes in, the town of Meningie will end up with salt water, because the lake will go salty if they put the weir in. Don't let the fresh water down into the lake. Yeah, well, such is life. Across the River Murray at Wellington. Last time we saw the Murray was up near Toowong, and I reckon that's where they're going to have to put the weir down there. That'll be the end of the fresh water in the lakes anyway. They'll probably have to put it down there somewhere. And we get another beautiful sunrise over Lake Alexandrina. Just taking a drive along the foreshore of Victor Harbour towards the Bluff. Very nice houses along here. See, Victor Harbour's expanding, isn't it?
At 900 meters, turn left, then turn right.
Have a look at this bloke. Oh, fucking me run.
How you going, Bluey? Elma, how you going, mate?
How you going, Blue? Say hello to the people, Blue.
Yeah, hello. How you going there?
This is
when you haven't got a gun.
This is Green Hill Lodge.
Yeah.
As Neil.
Yeah, I'm tired of making bars.
He doesn't look after me pussycat anymore.
No, I'm finished with that.
It's not bad up here.
Is that your booty? Your treasure?
And what you've got to do for me
Yes.
is I want you to pick out one of these, because whatever you don't pick out, old Ed can have.
Right.
Okay, they're cold. I reckon they're almost drinking temperature. We've come to the end of another video. We had a good trip. We had a bloody good trip. All right. It rained for a couple of days, but it didn't rain here, did it, Aidan?
No.
No. I went to Canberra and saw Canberra, which I hadn't seen before, and I went and saw the whales, which I finally wanted to go and see. And I went to back a few camps that I wanted to go to before. By the way, I was at Southend, and I noticed on sunset there was a few mozzies. Yes, there was a few mozzies, Aidan. There was a few mozzies at Southend. We'd like to say hello to the people. This is Aidan. We're in the driveway of Aidan Twinings here, and we're gonna end this video here, and we're gonna say hello to Rex. And,
Rex. People.
Jack. Barry. Dave. Mick.
Somebody else.
Maury. John.
Get the phone book. Read the phone book out.
Anyway, Aidan's got a couple of reds here which he's going to snaffle away. And by the way, Ed, he had first pick, all right. Anyway, we're going to call it a day here, and we're going to catch you later on, and we'll see you next time when we're on the road or out in the bush or we're sticking it up somebody. We'll catch you later on, eh?